So this is a meeting about non-duality, non-duality. Non-duality, that means not two. We are so used that everything is two. It's good and bad, and it's above and below, and everything is in two. Duality and non-duality means it's not two, it's just one. I'm sitting here in the kitchen, so I hope you don't mind. The sound is even better because I bought this. So I'm having a renovation in my flat, in my apartment. So there's only this. There's only this. It's just this. And this is everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's moving the hands, it's sitting, it's talking, it's the floor, it's everything. There's nothing what isn't this. So when it's said it's this already, then there's no need for change or there's no need for anything because already this is it. This message is so simple that it's even a bit strange to talk about because it's already this, so finish. And in the same time, there's a huge embodied feeling. There seems to be not enough. There seems to be a feeling of I'm not good enough. This is not everything. It seems like there has to be done something to reach what is already there in maybe in Rose or some other people. There's no Rose. There's no real body. There's only an apparent Rose. And that's also strange because we're always into like I'm here and how do wait, there's somebody talking. When there's I'm a bit so strange enough, when there's something else happening, it's immediately gone what is said before. Maybe that's always like that, but it's here. So this is what's happening, and this is already everything. There's no Rose, there's only an apparent Rose, and the apparent Rose, everything is apparent. So there's only an apparent body, there's an apparent Rose, apparent hands. There's nothing happening, and at the same time, it's apparently everything. It seems like stores and bottles and bodies and people. There's nothing inside. There's nothing inside, and there's also no outside. That's strange because we're so used that there's an inside, there's outsides, there's before, there's after, behind and before. We're always thinking without the ability to abstract. We can think about behind, we can think about after. There's no time, there's no behind. There's only this, and this is what's seen, what is felt, what is heard, what is smelled, everything that, and by the senses. And that's it. And by the abstract mind of people, it seems there's a lot more. There's separation. There seems to be I am here and you are here. There's there are borders. This is the border of my body, and there's the table. That's a part of me. There's everything seems solid and real and there. And then there's coming this message and it's saying, no, it's not real. It's only an appearance. So it seems to be real, but it isn't. And it's not saying there's nothing happening. There's only nothing. No, it's seen that there's tables and circumstances and bodies, but everything is empty. That's strange. That's strange because we're so into I have to deal with things and I have to do something to survive. I have to look for maybe a better world or a better me or take care of myself or other people. And this message is about there's nothing going on. So there's no need to care. Maybe taking care can happen, but there's nothing needed. What is happening is it. And it doesn't mean it's nice. This is not about how to have a nicer life or to feel better. This is just describing what is. It's very simple, it's very radical, and it's unconditional love already. And unconditional means there's nothing excluded. So it's everything. Everything is love, but not the love we are used to. That's nice and you feel good about. It's everything. That's the unconditional part. There are no conditions. So there are no conditions. That means that's love. Because we're so used to conditions like how to behave. This is better than that. I have to take care of somebody else. I have to um, look if I do say the right thing because some otherwise there maybe people are hurt. When there's no me, nothing is busy with what's going on. The whole awareness is part of that me structure trying to survive in a threatening world. There's no world. That's a concept. There's only this. That's everything. And the rest is information you get somewhere, or maybe some knowledge. That's knowledge, and there can be information. Doesn't mean it's really there. A lot of beliefs, a lot of concepts in that dream of me. Because when there's me, it seems like there's me and the world or other people, and I have to survive. I have to have relations, so I have to behave in a certain way. And when suddenly all that falls away, or it can be gradually, then there's no world. There are no other people. It's just this. It's what's happening. It can be nice. It can be forgetting everything, not remembering what is promised, maybe not promising anything. It's what comes out. And what comes out is already this. So it's already happening. There's no need to look for something. There's no need to look for no me. It's already like that. That's the joy. That's the joy of this message. It's already there. Maybe it's not looking the same as what you think it could be or it should be. It's already everything. No need to behave, no need to do anything else than that because there's no power in thoughts. There's no free will. So there can be a lot of thoughts about how to behave and promising or trying to decide what will go on, what you will do. But that's only thoughts happening. They don't have any power. We are so convinced that thoughts are power. We are doing that. We are deciding what's done, and it's because of us that something is happening. There's no one. So there's no one deciding. It's just what's happening. It's energetic. So there's no guilt or responsibility also. It's innocence. It's only innocence and new. We can talk about this and maybe there are questions or maybe you want to say something. You can unmute yourself and then we'll see what happens. There's no need to talk about this. When there are no questions, then there are no questions. It's already this. It's looking out of the window. That's it. Nothing more. When there are circumstances and it feels like, how to get there, then there are thoughts how to get there. And maybe there's some stress somewhere. It seems like it's my stress or stress in the body. It's just stress somewhere. Shh, can happen. It's not your stress. Stress happens in space. Nothing is yours. It's not your life. And it can seem like it's my life and I have to do something about things that are happening now to me. When that's going on, then that's what's going on. And it seems like, I don't know how to do it. Or, then that's what's going on. Not wrong. Nothing is wrong. It's just life. In that way, can be like that. Then there's a lot of thinking, I am there and I have to find a solution. Then those thoughts are coming. So nothing is wrong. That's the amazing thing of this message. Nothing is wrong. It's just what's happening. It's not even need to say to yourself, oh, this is what's happening, because that's already a concept. But when that saying happens, then that's what's happened. But it's a concept. It's still a concept, but it's not wrong. Concepts are not wrong. Beliefs are also not wrong. It's a belief. And when there's a knowledge or understanding of this, it seems like a bit safe. We're looking for safety, like a bit of control or a bit of a hole to feel a bit comfortable in what's going on, and maybe threatening something, or maybe it's a relation that's difficult. Seems like problems. Then knowing or being clear about something can, by this message maybe, can be a hold, can be like, oh, this is very clear. You don't understand that. Something like that. It's still someone who's clear, and it feels a bit like being safe. Then you have something and it makes it like I'm very clear and this is how it is. It has nothing to do with this message. Being clear can be there, but it's just very superficial. This is something else. This is energetic. This message is about energetic. When there's something going on, there's no escape. There's nothing, oh, this is what's happening. That makes it a bit flat or something else. It goes on top of that what's happening. And when there's feeling fear, then there's feeling fear. It's full on. Everything is full on. No escape. Not saying to yourself, oh, this is what's happening. No, that's not coming. It's maybe coming in these meetings saying that, but not when something is happening and it's like a mess everywhere, and not saying like, oh, but this is just what's happening. No, it's what is going on here, and forgetting everything and maybe walking around like, oh my God, that's it. Nothing making it less or more comfortable. There's nothing coming up to change. So this is about loss. When there's me, it's trying to change everything or to name it, to feel safe, to do something to feel safe again, to feel comfortable, to feel more happy or satisfied. When that all those concepts and structures are lost, then nothing can be, it's just not coming. So it's full on already. It's that. It's already like that, but there's something else going on, like, oh, but this is it, and it's okay. Nothing is really happening. Things saying that to yourself. When all those concepts are gone, there's no one saying to yourself like, oh, but this is nothing happening or something like that. No, that doesn't come. It doesn't come. It's full on. It's everything. And then somebody say, can you speak about pattern, please? If there's something that comes from childhood that war like that apparently seems to be going now, unsafe in childhood and seems the same now. But it's safety is a very strong pattern. It's very strong longing for safety when there's that when there's oneness, there's just nothing going on about anything. And then suddenly it seems like there's a contraction and there's like separation, and that feels like everything feels like a threat when that's very young child. So they're starting a behaving or trying a me and trying to make it right or to feel more comfortable or safe or anything. And that can still be there. It's not, and this is just a story because there's no story. But in the same time, talking in the story of me, that can be happening like that. There can be a feeling of stress, and there can be patterns like trying to make it more safe, like thoughts are coming or behaving in a certain way. That can happen. That can still go on, but for no one. So it's still patterns can go on, but there's nothing wrong about that. This is not about feeling comfortable or doing the right thing, not having any patterns anymore. There can be patterns, so what? It's just a way of looking to yourself. When there's something going on and there's me, there's always looking to yourself and thinking, oh, what is this? Oh, there's still that pattern. Like, oh, maybe it has to be with, it has to, how do you say that? It has to do with something that I was a child and now it's still going on. And now it's still that feeling not safe and trying to behave in a certain way because of I'm not feeling safe. It's a story. It can be a very strong story. It can be so embodied that looking at yourself and doing things to make it right is not wrong. That's just a pattern. But it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Then that's what's going on. So doesn't need to change. There can be pattern. Maybe they're hair patterns, I don't know. But there's nothing busy with that. That's the difference. That's the only difference. This is not more behaving like I'm so free now or something like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just can be silly, can be not, I don't know. It can be anything. But it doesn't matter what it is. And when there's me, it seems like it matters. It seems like this is better than that, and I should have done that no, or more busy with that. Well, it seems like also then they're saying then situations are not created and recreated when the patterns doesn't matter. I don't know, maybe, but so what? Then there that situation is there. It doesn't matter what's it's not it's then there's that situation. So it can be go on and on and on. Having no money, maybe something like that, and it goes on. So then there's no money. But what's so strong with me is that there's looking at it, and when there's a looking at it, there's a confirming that there's something wrong with what's going on, or what you did, or what the world is doing, or what he is doing, or something like that. There's a confirming of that. That's how me does. That's there's something wrong, and it has to be made right. When that whole construct is not there anymore, it's not seen that there's something wrong. It's just what's happening. And when there's people doing things, it's not justice or something. It's nothing is, maybe there's a thought about that. And then it's, maybe they're saying something about it or not. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's not about me. Not about my life. There's no my life. That's what's happening. And maybe there's a reaction, or maybe they're saying nothing and people yelling at you and not saying anything, maybe. So then that's what's happening. It's everything. So there's no escape. And there can be patterns, big patterns. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not about me having a life. There's no me having a life. There's only what's happening. So there's also no Rose or no other persons. It's just that body that seems to be there, and it's there and it's not. It's an appearance. It's not seeing like you can see through it. It's seeing the same thing, but then it's somewhere. It's obvious. It's nothing is real, but it's not known. It's not known because that's something else. It's something I can't say how it is. It's energetic. So it's lived and there's nothing coming up. That's more like it. To be busy with that or trying to change it. It's just not coming. It's helpless, being helpless. No control, no escape, just coming out or nothing is coming out. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. But it seems like I want to know. I have to know. This is better than that. That's sure for me. No, it's not sure. Nothing is sure. But it can be very strong belief that this is the truth or this is healthier than that or things like that. There's no my life. That's what's happening and it's energetic. This is very radical. It's just what is happening and it's very literally. So there's no story at all. And I can also be talking in the story. Whoa, talking about mothers and things like that. It's crazy. It's not about this cannot be understood. Not, but it doesn't matter. That's also crazy because everything in life is about understanding or having insights. They're saying, I guess being warlike, there's a sense of trying to fight it by doing something or not doing. Yeah, there's always trying to make it right or to do something. But it seems that you are doing it. It's energetic. That's when there's that belief and that it's so embodied that this is something, this is wrong and I have to make it right. It's energetic. It's such a drive. Sometimes it's not even thinking that it's already done because it's so in the body, it's so energetic. Then it's happening like that. It's still a fight. It's still convinced that there's something wrong. And this message is about there's nothing wrong. But that's amazing because we're so convinced some things are wrong. This is wrong. It's more like, I think it's more like it's painful. There can be pain, sure. But that's something else. Not wanting to feel pain. When there's that whole survival system, that me is not there, there's nothing going on. There's no escape for pain also. So it can be a longing for this, but in the same time, there's a fear because there's a fear for feeling everything maybe or something else like that and lose control. And it can be a longing because it feels like innocence and complete being in love. But it's being in love and everything. So pain, sadness, anything, what can happen. But the strange thing is when there's no fight, when there's nothing wrong, pain is not something awful or so. It's not awful. It's pain can be there. Or anger, sadness. They're saying it's difficult to feel anything. Yeah, when there's not feeling, then then that's not happening. So that it doesn't need to feel everything. When there's there can be no feeling, of course. Then there's no feeling. There's maybe a stress somewhere, or there's walking, or a lot of thoughts. It doesn't matter. This is not that whole structure about trying to feel more and to feel everything in the body or things like that. Has nothing to do with that. When there's no feeling, there's no feeling. So what? It's not about feeling everything. It's about what's happening already. And that's already going on. So no need for anything. It's amazing to hear that what's going on, or is it already? Because it's such a strong feeling or belief that this, how it's going with the circumstance, it can't be it. And then somebody like me or other people is saying, yes, this is it. It doesn't mean it's nice or it's how it should be. No, it's just saying, this is it. Mm. Another message. A person I knew 30 years ago comes now in my dreams at night. Where does this come from? It feels like a story somehow. Yeah, it's a story about someone, maybe. Yeah, can happen. Can happen in the dreams, can happen in the dream world. It's the same. Maybe there's a feeling or there's nothing going on. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's just that. No reasons. We always are like, oh, there's a reason for this. It should be meaning something. That's what the abstract mind always does. There's no meaning. Life hasn't meaning. It just is. That's it. Hmm. And when there's me and that whole structure of beliefs and construct, there's something happening. And then on top of that, there's naming it or give it meaning, or it's not seen as it is. It's just that. But there's something. Look at a tree. It's not seen as it is. It's like, oh, what is that with the tree? And there's coming a lot of extra things with it. It's just a tree with, without leaves or I don't know. It's just that. Ah, that's a question. Hi, Rose. Could you talk about money? Oh my God, yeah, money. That can be such a thing. It seems like that's the way we survive. If we have money, we are more happy and can do more and feel more free, maybe more power. When there's no money, there's a lot of like, oh, can I survive or things like that. So much attached to money. Money is empty. It's energy. It's only energy. It has nothing to do with surviving. It's where's the money? There can be some coins or papers in the hand. Then that's what's happening. But there's so much attached to it, like, oh, is this enough? And there's that whole thing about being having enough. When there's that me going on, and there's something like am I good enough? But also something can be going on like this is not enough. So there's trying to have enough or trying to do something to be enough in the world or to feel like, oh, people don't love me, I'm not enough, or things like going on. And that seems maybe like it's seen like in money too. There's not enough. Has nothing to do with money. There can be a feeling or a belief like that. And it doesn't need to look at it like, oh, it's about that construct, am I enough? It doesn't matter. Throw away these words. It doesn't matter. It's not about the words. It's something else. It's about there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong even when they're saying to yourself, oh, I'm not enough. And it's not wrong. It can be there, such feeling like, do I have enough? And the money isn't coming. And what can I do about it? When they're being busy with that all the time, maybe. Can happen. It's not wrong. Nothing is wrong. It's what's happening, and it can feel like tension. Then there's tension and thinking. It's going nowhere, but it's there. It can be there. And it's strange to hear it's going nowhere, and it doesn't help. There's no need to do anything about it, but when there's doing, then that's what's happening. Nothing matters. That's strange to hear because it feels like it's very important, and oh, I don't have money and maybe I can't make it next year or things like that. And then there's hearing this message like nothing matters. You don't know what's going on. Of course, there's no safety. And money is also can be like about safety. Nothing is safe. There's not knowing. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe there's l- losing the house. I don't know. I don't know. Can happen. I don't know what I will say then or how it's going on then. Anything can happen. There's no there's no help to try to work it out. There's no one. There's already no one. It's energy, circumstances, and they're gone already. And then different, they're gone already. It's new. It's new and it's new. There's no before, there's no after, there's no time. There's only this. There's no future, but there's also no past. There's just this energy. It's going nowhere. It's just this. We think we have to do something about it, or this is my life, and the whole story. Me is the story. And it's not like me is making stories. No, it's much more simple. It's when no me, no story. There's just this. It's very childlike, yes. It's very childish. And they're still seeing that there's something behind the computer that's something like that. But in the same time, it's not. It's strange. And there's another one. There's also no need to work it out. No. But when that happens, then that's what's going on. That's an energy that can be very strong to work it out and make it more clear or finding solutions because that need can be very strong. But there's no need for that. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's energetic. You can't, there's no one doing that. It's just happening. But it's going nowhere. That's strange to hear. We think when we do this, that will have an effect, and maybe later on that will be better. That's the dream. That's the dream. It's already complete as it is. There's no better world or better life. It's this already. There can be something like, oh, I won't do that anymore, like, and then completely forgetting it. It can happen. Yeah. Uh, there's another chat. It seems like children that have some thinking, some knowledge, some, and they are not so strong with that. By COVID, there are a lot of at home, and oh my God, the teacher didn't want to uh, explain thing. There were some children. They had some less knowledge because of they were at home and because of the COVID, and then there was a teacher who didn't want to explain it another time, and and she said, I it's difficult for me because I did wanted to do it again because I saw these children they didn't need to it. That can happen. It's yeah, it's not about what's going on. When there's a feeling like I have to, and maybe there's a doing of that, or maybe there's not a doing of that, it's the same. But there can be like that, and there can be like trying to make it right in that sense. Yeah, or not. It isn't, it is not wrong to make it right or not to make it right. It's that can be an energy like that, and there can be that can happen. It's going nowhere, but that can happen. So it's a lot of things that are happening in the story, and because we are thinking like, oh, it's about children, they have to feel all right, or things like that, or and then there's a lot of beliefs or concepts about what to do then, and maybe and a lot of times or sometimes it's not happening. And look in the world, it's not happening that everybody feels safe and comfortable and happy and da 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 da. And there are people like, oh, I want to do something about that. It's the same story. It's the same story in the world or in the class or in the structure of like my life. It's the same story. Like I'm feeling not good enough and I have to do something about that, or the children are not feeling good enough because of that and we have to do something about it. It's always the same story. So it's seen in the world, in the circumstances. That it's so strong that there's something wrong and we should make it right. That's what seems to be in the world. That's showing. It shows like that's the energy. That's that me energy is so strong. There's something wrong and we make it right. And everybody who's making it right thinks, I have the truth. This is the truth. We have to do it like this. And then something else. And no, this is the truth. We have to do it like this. It's so convincing. And that's the fight. That's everywhere. It's about health. It's about everything. It's the same story about there's something wrong. And I know, or I think I know what to do. There's nothing wrong. And it can be painful or not happy or things like that. But that huge thing, like there's something wrong and I or we or have to make it right. That's so the normal way of thinking. And that's such a strong drive. And then there's this saying, there's nothing wrong. That's completely like against that. This could think that. Because how can you think there's nothing wrong? Look at the world, look at the glass, look there. But it's not saying everything is all right or something like, oh, everything is okay or something like that. No, it's what it is. It's not denying anything. It's what it is, not making something else of it, not trying to make it better. It's what it is. And it's life, it's an appearance. So it's not solid, it's not real, like, oh, that's going on. But it's so convincing that everything is real and we have to do something about it. It's such a deep embodied feeling there's something not good enough or something has to be made right. And that shows in the world, in your life, in everywhere, circumstances. It's so convincing. And then there's this message, there's nothing wrong. There's, it's not there. It's already complete. It's nothing about there's not good enough. It's exactly how it is. That's it. There's nothing wrong with the behavior. Doesn't mean it's nice. That's something else. There can be pain. There can be sadness. There can be accidents. It's this. There's only this. Not any meaning. No meaning. No explaining. Doesn't mean that the no explaining is not good. No, it can be an explaining like in a story. So what? It has no meaning. Doesn't go anywhere. It just can be like, oh, it's I'm feeling so bad because of what happened yesterday. It can be saying like that. And then it's gone. Why not? This can't you can't make something of it. You can't think like, oh, now I'm getting it and now I know what to do with this. There's nothing, you get nothing. It's not about doing something with what is said here. You can't. It's not, it's impossible. So you can hear it and maybe understand or not understand, but you can't do anything with that. That can, some people think they walk away because it's like, I don't want to do anything. I don't have anything. It's nice to hear, but yeah, what can I do with it? Nothing, because you don't need to do anything. You can't do anything with it, but there's also no need for it because that what's happening is it already. Ah, yeah, it's complete. It's complete. It never has been not complete. And it can be asking questions about certain situations. And there's sometimes in these meetings, it seems like, oh, I don't ask questions about my life or what's happening because there's no my life and things like that. But it's not about the answer, like getting a solution or something. But when there's asking a question about things that happen in circumstances or something like that, what seems to be a problem, and there's expecting an answer or something like that, you don't know, and it's coming completely different as what you're thinking about, or there was something else energetics going on. That's what this is about. So it's when there's a hesitation about asking question about your life or about silly things that go on, please do, because it can be very, yeah, it can be clarifying in something like not even what's going on, but underneath it's something else going on. So any question can happen, can come. There are no silly questions. Can I ask about stalking? Yeah. What is, yeah. Well, that's stalking is stalking. I don't know what to say about stalking. I'm being stalked by someone. There's somebody looking at you or coming after you. Yeah, I can't say anything. I don't know. There can be a feeling. It's a story. It's a story. There can be that, and they're feeling like, oh, he's watching me, something like that. Then that's what's happening. There's no explanation about what's going on. It's this. They're sitting, and maybe there's a feeling I'm watched. But that's also all the time happening. There's something watching. There's something going on. Like I'm look at myself and what's going on here, and then somebody else does. It's the same. It's the same story. There's something going on that is watched. Maybe there's a feeling. I don't know.
Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kim. You said the me is the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you can say I have this idea that this contracted energy, and from this, then the surviving system, the storage system came from this, and not this, that the contracted energy is the story. I don't know if
Oh, it's related, you think?
yeah, or what it is.
Mm-hmm. Me is the story, so that it's not because I'm contracted, then there is that it's together. It's
Okay.
that's this that is the story. So there's because then otherwise you could think, oh, when that contraction is less, maybe the story is less or things like that. It's together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no cause. It's that it seemed because then we're thinking like cause, and it's maybe because when we're thinking about cause, then you can do something about it. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
always that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's there can be a contraction, but even the saying contraction is already the non-duality thing. It's maybe a tension somewhere. It's not even in the body, but somewhere there can be tension. Not all, maybe or not all day, but there can be tension. Then there's tension. We are so used to think because we now about non-duality and then contraction and the story and things like that. So we think, oh, there's still a contraction and the story still going on. That we're so look. That's the brains are so good in abstracting and thinking about what's going on and having ideas about that. It makes it complicated. There can be tension, then that's it. And it can be thoughts or a story about things. And the story is just thoughts going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But has nothing to do with something else. There can be thoughts or there can be not contract, there can be tension somewhere. That still happens, tension. And there can be thoughts and it seems like they're related. Yeah, there can, but uh, it's a concept, but there can be concepts. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we say the me makes this to a problem, this tension, then suddenly you can say suddenly it is a problem and not only
Yeah.
tension and not only
Yeah.
fear also.
Yeah, because what me does is make it that putting something extra. It's
Yeah.
just that tension, and then on top of that, it goes so quickly, and then they're coming a story. Oh, this is again that. No, and then it goes on, and then it's feeded that whole system. Like there's something not right yet, or and it's it still needs something. Then it's feeded, and then it goes on. Then the thoughts go on, or that energy goes on because the
Yeah.
belief or it's a belief but it's embodied so it can be so strong that it goes on and the belief is it's a story but it's like that it's an explaining of that. Yeah, but and then suddenly you're on the bike and everything is gone. So then
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's and it can be very strong and you're sitting in it and really trying to get out of it or things like that. And then suddenly something else is going on and it's forgotten. And then it seems it comes back, but it's new and then it comes and goes.
Yeah.
And
That's
sometimes
right.
it's getting less yeah, convincing in a way, maybe. It's
Yeah.
there, but it can be not that strong anymore. That's happening by sometimes with these meetings or something else, and then suddenly it's like, oh my God, it's again. So it's already not really into it. So that can happen like that. So that's what happened with me. That it less and less. But it can be so like frustrating that it's going on, but it's energetic. It's so embodied. It's can be so deeply embodied and strong. But then
Yeah.
that's energy is going on. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's nothing like, oh, I want to get out. Yeah, there can be a feeling like of a thought like I want to get out of it. But there's no way to get out of it.
No.
It's, and trying to get out of it, it's just the same. It's even it's even feeding the whole system more. But what to do when
Yeah.
that's happening? It can be so strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then after that, you think like, what was I doing? Come on, I already knew it's just nothing, but then suddenly you're into it, and it's so convincing and so going on. Yeah, yeah. That's being thing. That's can be so me can be so convincing in certain sometimes in certain subjects like money or relation or things. Some things are much more less stronger than other things maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's also it's also that's also a story because there's nothing happening. There's no life. There's no one inside or something. It's just that. So there's no development. We talked about development yesterday. Like, oh, there's a development. Like, oh, this is now it's going better now because it's not that strong anymore. But in the same time, there's no development. There's just that. There's maybe tension. That's it. That's everything. Nothing more. It's not you having tension or not that strong anymore or things. We are always, when there's me, there's always trying to compare with before or with other people. There's uh, there's no comparing. There's just this, and there's tension. Yeah, can be there here too. It's just normal life. Yeah, or thoughts still happen. Can still happen here. A lot of thoughts, or less, or whatever. Yeah, thoughts are not yours. It's just energy. Tuk, 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 tuk. Like coffee. It's just the same, but we think thoughts have a meaning, or it's so convincing that they have a content or something like that. It's just energy, like the wind. Yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
Rose, to,
yeah,
to listen at. Yeah. Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there was what something about Uh, there's a feeling about being followed, but it's not constant like it was. So there may be tension in the body, and that makes meaning from that it's so quickly becoming a story. They're seeing something and making a story of it, and the tension, and then related to that story, and that's how it goes. That's when there's happening something and there's feeling something, it's related, and then thinking about it, and then becomes something, and then seeing it again and thinking, oh, it's still there, and then becomes a whole thing. It's just this. It's just a feeling, and it's not even, maybe it's even not even in the body. It's not yours. We think the body is a real thing, and inside there are feelings. Feelings happen in space. It's not yours. It's just happening. It's energy. And we think when we feel something, it's you think immediately, oh, that's my feeling. No, it's not. It's a feeling. Can be there. And it has no relation to anything. It's just feeling. Fear. Or maybe you don't know, even sometimes you don't know what it is. You call it fear, maybe even you don't know something, you don't have a name for it. No, then that's what's happening. And then after that, and then there's something else. And the story is so convincing, but that makes it into something, and that makes it, gives it a meaning, and then goes on. And it's confirming that, and then you have to do something about it or not, or and it goes on. That's what we're talking about. There's just this. There can be a feeling just like that. And it can be somebody watching you, seeing that can be there. There's no story. There's no me. There's already no me. There's no real. The body isn't real. It's energy. It's energy. It's an appearance. So nothing is real. It's just new, and that's it. So no story, no before. It's just this energy, or thoughts, or looking at the wall, or having a daydream, like thinking about nice weather. I don't know. It's just that. There's no story, there's no my life. We think this is my life. I have a past, and that's why I'm like this, and I have something going on, and this is my life. This is my good circumstances. There are no circumstances. There seems to be, like in the dream of me, and there seems to be circumstances to me, because when there's someone, when there seems to be someone, everything is happening to you. You are the most important person of your life, and then everything is happening to you, and you have to deal with that. And that's a big problem, because you don't know how to deal with everything. And that's his message. You don't have to deal with anything. There is already no one. God, it's such a big thing to have to deal with everything. My God. And to do the right thing also. Wow, I don't know. I have to think about it. Wow. It's just this. There's a feeling. And it's not even yours. It's a feeling. There's maybe drinking coffee or walking or a wall. And nothing is more important than anything else. There's no one. So it's not about you or your life. There's no your life. Hey, that's the freedom. Hmm. Ah, I hope you set it on YouTube. Yes, I do. I do. I will. It's a promise. You never know. No, I will do. Mm. So about money, another one. There's no way that wants it. I want money, of course. But it's empty. So there can be like, oh, money is nice. No, not even that. No. It's not a big it's nothing going on about that. That's more it. When there's money, it's I don't know, it's nothing. It can be like a lot of have a lot of 50s in your hand. can be a moment of like, oh God, it's nice, and then yeah, yeah. It's money is not the way. It's not. How do you think? When I have money, my life will be much more easier. That's a concept. It's that's lost. So money isn't making my life work or something like that. Nothing is. There's no my life, but money is just money. Yeah, it's like there's also a table. There's no difference. It's we're so into money makes our life work, and I need money and have to. No, it's no. Nothing is needed. Yeah, I like the idea of a 50. Yeah, but there's then that's a 50 in your hand. Then it's like little children, like oh God, it's nice, and then there's no meaning. Of course, I know this is money. But yeah, so it's not making my life work or making everything more easy when there are two fifties or 10. I don't know. It has nothing to do with that. So there's nothing going on about money or about anything because money is just, yeah, another, yeah, I can't say what it is. It's just money. We attach a lot of meaning and concepts and beliefs about money. And houses and relations. It is. When there's and when all is lost, there's nothing going on like, oh, like I have to do something. There's no one. There's already no one. And it's just this. It's such obvious. It's so normal and obvious. It's not and it money feels like something. Yeah, that's true. It feels like something and you need that. But when there's no me, when that's all lost, all those concepts, it's seen like there can be money or no money, then that can be different. But so what? That it's not my life. There's no my life. There's what's happening. There's this, and there's nothing going on. This is better than that. It's this, and when that's so difficult to describe, when there's it's just nothing making it different. There's not coming up something like, I don't want this, and then trying to change. When that's not coming up, and I don't want this is also not coming, then it's just this. And then ah, it's being in love with everything. It's everything, not with everything. It's everything. So it's being in love. It's everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just, and it can be ugly but ugly is still whoa, it's still, oh God. And it can be angry or pain, and still it's love or how can you say it? This is already complete. It's unconditional love. And it's everything. And when there's a separation, it seems like, no, this is better than that. It's a bit not sharp, you couldn't say that, but it's like, oh, I'm seeing that and I want, and there's me. It has to be something for me. And that life isn't seeing me, so it's going all kind of ways, and then it's feeling like, oh, it's not about me, it's about only about you. Oh, that's awful. And then that whole thing is going on, and always if it's not about you or life is not thinking of you and there seems to be no money, oh, life is not, it's awful. Life isn't interested in us. It's just everything, it's energetic. So there's that feeling I am someone, that makes it com- complicated because there's a really deep belief that it's about you and you have to make it right, and then it's about justice and this isn't right, and it's all the time like that because you think it's about you. It's not about you. It's just what's happening and energetic, and that's the freedom. It's not about you. That's amazing. That's the freedom. And then there's suddenly like, oh, it's already complete. It's already complete. It's just what it is. And it can be anything. But when there's nothing trying to change it, then there's something else. It's unconditional. It's the love of everything. It's just that already. It's such a wow. God. Yeah. Oh. And there's another question. Hi Rose, it's like I need to find another job to earn properly and pay for loans. But on the other hand, I do not want to, and then I feel irresponsible. I know you say there's no one, but it feels such real feeling. I feel that I wasn't hearing non-dual message. I would act more. Oh, yeah. It seems like that because it's also what's happening has nothing to do with you. So if you're hearing non-dual message or something else, it's not never about you doing that. It feels like I have the ability to act and to have a free will and choice to make things happen. And that makes it like I'm responsible and I can do it. Or if it doesn't happen, you feel like, oh, I didn't do enough. And that whole story about thing can be so convincing. And when there's this message, it seems like, oh, it's eating something of it. It's like, oh, it can't be that strong anymore. But then maybe it's getting more that's that energy of that me can get stronger and think like, oh, but and one thing you had, oh, but it's just what's happening, and then, but then the other hand, it's like, oh, but now you're irresponsible. You have to do something. Don't be that lazy or and you. So there's that fight that goes on, like, oh, you have to do, and I have to, oh, and it doesn't work, and then the other hand is like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to do anything anymore. Oh, bummer. And then that's suddenly like, yeah, but yeah, if I do that all the time, it's about it non-dual message. And oh, it goes on and on. How? I see Anton. Yeah. Bye. And then it's going on. That's the struggle. It's the struggle. Like I have to do it. It's my life. I have to. Oh no, no, no. It's I hearing this message. There's no that that can be such a fight. It's what it is. It's no one, but it's the energy that's so strong, and that being can be like that. And it can be, it doesn't mean it's relaxing when this message is heard. It's everything is more relaxed. That can be for a moment. And then that drive comes back, may even maybe worse. And like, cool, I have to do that. What was I doing? I was just sitting all the time. Yeah, of course now nothing is happening. And that goes on. It goes on till it stops. It's not wrong. It can be so strong and so convincing that it's you. You have to do it. Otherwise nothing is really happening in your life. And somewhere you're hearing, oh, it's not my life. Oh, that's the freedom. Oh, wow. But it's there's something, it can be, that's called the meing and being. It's can be like, oh my God, this is everything. And then that me thing is so fighting for its life, and it goes on. What to do? It's not wrong. It's what's happening. And you don't need to say, oh, that's what's happening. That's another concept. But that's how I can say it. Yeah, this is not a message about a better life or more relaxed, being more relaxed. I don't know. It's not giving anything, it's just describing what is seen here. That's it. Mm. It's just this, moving the hand, scratching the nose, feeling stress, thoughts happening. Nothing happening. And it's going nowhere. That's the joy. It's going nowhere. It just is. And it has no meaning, no direction. Wow, it's just this for no reason. And it's new like that. And we think everything is connected and about me and about life and the whole world. And it's just this. There's no outside. There's no inside. Whoa. There's no time. So there's no future that no, people can imagine. But there's also no past. Where's the past? It's just this. Very simple, tiny, ordinary, not special, normal. Doing shopping. When there's ending this meeting, there's closing the computer, it's doing something. That's it. That's life. That is this. So this is already there. It's everything. It's the walking. Just that. For no reason, not going anywhere. And it can be planning or writing down the shopping list. It's everything. So there's nothing wrong and nothing right. There's also nothing right. It's what it is. There's coming someone new. It's already nearly finished. I'm doing the last words. And it's just this. It's just this. And it can be seeing people like watching the screen. That's it. Hearing words. They don't have any meaning. Doesn't matter what I'm saying. It's just this. So there's no need to remember. There's no need to hold on or to understand what is said here. Doesn't matter. That's crazy. We're not used to that. There's no agenda that people will listen to this. It's this. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Mm.
Thank you, Rose.